Boxing truth here. Jermall Charlo just exposed Julian Williams' weak-ass chin on Saturday night in a matchup pitting two top 154-pounders, at least on paper. And Charlo answered some questions, handled some adversity, and he also exposed Julian Williams' not-so-world-class chin in the bout, which was his shortcoming in the fight. Wasn't the tougher of the two guys. And must be a tough day for the J-Rock fanboys who were hyping this guy up. A lot of praise. A lot of predictions of how he would do in the future at 154 pounds. And there was some people that were picking Julian big, showing absolutely no respect to Jermall Charlo. One of the most disrespected defending champions I can recall coming into a bout, especially when he was fighting an undefeated nobody, which Jermall Charlo just proved on Saturday night. Julian's good, showed some good things in the fight, showed some good counter-punching ability, some skills, but he just never been in there with the type of puncher the type of punching power Jermall Charlo possessed, and Julian Williams wasn't ready for it because he was finally fighting somebody that was actually going to punch back. I mean, the trash opposition, the upbringing Julian Williams had didn't really help. He fought a bunch of heavy bags, guys that didn't even try to punch back at him. And then when he finally got some resistance, this was the end result. Charlo and Julian, it was a good fight. It was competitive. The 3 of the 4 rounds that preceded the knockout were hard to score. I had it pretty much even in rounds, with Jermall slightly ahead because of the knockdown. And the difference was Jermall was just the tougher, better, bigger, stronger, bigger puncher in the ring on Saturday night. Julian was showing good skills, he was sharp with his punches, but every time Jermall Charlo touched him really solid, Williams would stumble. I mean, he would get hurt, he would get rocked, and he got rocked pretty bad in the second round, right before the knockdown, when he got knocked down by a little jab by Jermall. He got hit with a right hand, I believe, and he got hurt. And that was pretty much what started all the trouble. Then the jab was pretty much just the finishing touch to that first knockdown. And Jermall was constantly touching him with the jab. He was also countering him, also displayed good counter-punching abilities. And that was a really, really good, beautiful counter uppercut he threw. He rolled with the right hand, blocked it, James Toney-like move, and came back with the uppercut and flattened Julian Williams. And got an impressive win, made a statement, shut up a lot of his doubters, exposed Julian Williams for what he was, just an overhyped prospect that he beat. But credit to Jermall, he took the mandatory defense. He was getting disrespected by the boxing public. A lot of boxing fans were pushing J-Rock hard, but he got exposed. A lot of people that pick J-Rock big must feel like they don't know a damn thing about boxing, but that's why you have to fight the fights. But Jermall Charlo was definitely being doubted. There was definitely being counted out by a lot of fans, and he proved a lot of people wrong. And it was a very good performance, and now there's some buzz going on with Jermall Charlo on boxing Twitter. People want to see him in certain fights. They want to see him again. And what was good about last night for Jermall Charlo was that he created a reaction in the audience for the first time in his career. It wasn't a positive response, but getting a response from the audience is a good thing. And it's a good thing for Jermall. He showed poor sportsmanship. That was unfortunate. He should have just shook Julian's hand, since Julian came out to him, was trying to show respect, give him props for the victory. But I get it. The emotions were running high. Julian was talking a lot of shit, questioning Jermall's opposition when Julian shouldn't be questioning a fighter's opposition, saying that he shouldn't have struggled with Trout, that he would have handled Trout, made light work of him. But that's why you got to fight the fights. And Jermall, he came out on top in the end, shut up a lot of people, and delivered the type of performance that's needed in boxing, a knockout performance. That was a little unexpected. I thought it would go 12 rounds, but I had a feeling Julian's chin was going to get tested. It was going to get exposed, and that's exactly what happened. Jermall's he's a big puncher. He's got power. Tall, rangy guy, can box, can counterpunch. And it was good that he got a reaction from the crowd. And now he should just continue to be a villain, continue to be an asshole, continue to be a guy that a lot of boxing fans dislike. But at the end of the day, you're going to want to watch his next fight. You're going to want to tune in. But at 54, there's really nothing for him there. There's no opponents that he could fight. He's not going to fight his brother. He's not going to fight Erislandy Lara since they have the same trainer. The Canelo fight he's not going to get because of litigation going on between the handlers of both of those fighters. The Miguel Cotto fight he's not going to get. The Demetrius Andrade fight is not a big fight. It's not a fight that makes sense for him. So it really makes sense for Jermall to move up in weight, see if he can get some fights there. Perhaps a Peter Quillen is a good fight for him. A Danny Jacobs eventually. Eubank. And if he can, eventually the Golovkin fight. And of course, Canelo is still going to be out there, depending on the litigation situation that's still ongoing between the both parties of both fighters, between Canelo and Jermall Charlo. So there's more action at 160 for Jermall. There's just not much happening at 154. He just beat the number one contender for his belt in a anticipated fight. There was some buzz going on with this fight. People were intrigued. They were interested. And Jermall Charlo, he put in a good performance. Got the knockout. It was a very good win. His best win to date. He looked strong. He handled the power of Julian. Was going through some adversity. Very tight fight. Competitive fight for the first 4 rounds. Jermall was the bigger puncher. And now he's moving on to bigger and better things. And we'll see what's next in store for Charlo. But I'm interested in Jermall Charlo. I want to see him fight again. He should continue to be a villain in the sport, wear the black hat, and wear it proudly. He'll create reaction and emotion in boxing fans, and they'll tune into his fights, whether they want to see him win or lose. But definitely fights out there for Jermall. I would love to see him fight Canelo eventually. But who knows if it could happen. There's fights from at 160 that he can make. It's pretty much the best move for him since there's not much action for him at 154 pounds. But congratulations to Jermall Charlo. He did more than I expected. And there's some buzz going on boxing Twitter. So be interested to see what's next in store for Jermall Charlo. Hopefully Heyman doesn't put him on the shelf for 8 months, keep the momentum going, get him back in the ring, whether it's a hand-picked opponent or not, just get him back in there. He's a guy that people are going to tune in to watch fight. He doesn't fight like a bitch. He can punch. He can get in there and fight. Hopefully he can get the opponents, and hopefully Heyman can continue to build momentum for Jermall Charlo, who is the better of the two brothers, the better fighter and the better champion. But good win, good performance, and looking forward to Jermall Charlo's next fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Charlo's performance. Were you surprised? Were you shocked? Who would you like to see him fight next? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.